Commentary is by far one of the weirdest genres on YouTube, and I think that's because it's such an all-encompassing term. You can really talk about anything, and it's technically labeled under commentary. We've evolved from the faces of the commentary community being scrawny white kids who thought that the N-word was a completely acceptable form of humor on the internet in 2016, to scrawny white kids that every straight female who watches them wants to top. No, but seriously, I'm very ecstatic that commentary has progressed in the way that it has, as Danny Gonzalez and Curtis Connor are much more enjoyable human beings than Leafy is here and I'm Alex. And although, like everyone, I have definitely had phases where I've really fixated on the former names I mentioned, especially those Johnny Johnny videos by Danny, they've all eventually fallen out of my weekly rotation, except for two. The first is Jarvis Johnson, who will definitely have a video made about him at some point, and the second is Scott Cramer, who I'm making a video about right now, if you didn't know. He's relatively new to the scene, as even though he's been on YouTube since 2008, he only started uploading commentary videos consistently about 4 years ago. Although most people remember finding him through his Post Malone video, which currently sits at 3 million views, I remember finding him through his marathon video. It came onto my recommendations because I am an avid marathon runner myself. That's a lie. I don't run anywhere but a treadmill, but I'm so glad that I did stumble upon it because I've been subscribed ever since then. I had first class seats to watch his rise to where he is now, and I have to say that it's one of the most interesting that I have seen. You see, most of the facecam generations, such as Danny, Drew, Cody, and Curtis, started their careers talking about very prevalent and sometimes beaten to death topics. Jake Paul, Instagram comedy, and pranksters were all really common topics that they tackled. And don't get me wrong, I love a good old-fashioned smackdown on Jake Paul as much as the next person, but Scott was unique in the way that he attacked content. Sure, he did sprinkle in the occasional video that was a bandwagon topic, like one about mobile game ads and another about, as I previously mentioned, the old faithful Instagram comedy. That being said, most of his stuff even at the beginning was incredibly original and outside the normal box commentary YouTubers usually find themselves in. He made content in his early days about things like his ex being famous, Deal or No Deal stealing his commercial idea, and the Batman TV show, and he managed to continue to gain a following off of these, frankly, offbeat topics. It is true that when most commentary channels do get a place when they feel stable in their job security, that they start to make more content that they want to make instead of the content they put out to get in that place, which is mostly click-oriented. So it's really refreshing to see someone pave their own lane to success with unique content and maintain that mindset throughout the entirety of their time on the platform, which is exactly what Scott has been doing. Another thing that I find refreshing about him is that his content isn't in a constant homeostasis. As much as I like channels who repeat the same format over and over again, such as the classic sitting down, looking into the camera, and talking about a thing formula, people who are able to successfully keep their viewers interested while varying their content in both subject matter and content style should be held to a very high regard. Sure, Scott makes a lot of talking head videos, but they're balanced out with videos that are more interactive. Whether it be applying to a bunch of game shows and going through the entire audition process for Card Sharks, trying to become famous on TikTok overnight, or simply just doing arts and crafts with his wife, it's always seemed like he's been a more active YouTuber. He's never afraid to try new things, and the new things that he tries always go over well with his audience. I'm not really a guy who likes to partake in food videos, but I even enjoyed his video on attempting to assemble the ultimate fast food meal. Another thing that sets Scott's content apart from other creators in the genre for me is his attitude. I'm not attempting to throw any shade on anyone or anything, but it's just really cool to see someone avoid the tempting air of negativity that so many others in commentary fall into. While most of his peers emanate the aura of cynicism and negativity towards the subjects of their videos, The most negative aura that I see from Scott, which is actually his main aura, is bewilderment. And you really can't blame him when you see that 2 of the last 6 videos he's made are on a movie where a man wants to have coitus with a fish, and a TV show where the contestants dress up as animals. Back to the attitude though, this is something that really resonates with me and I can relate to. If you've watched any of my video essays, which yeah, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but you would observe that I really enjoy talking about things in a positive manner. I like talking about why I love things and not why I hate them, and I feel like there isn't really enough of that on this platform. So when someone like Scott has that same lens that they're viewing things through and they manage to receive a good amount of attention, it inspires me to continue down that path even more. He just faces things from a really organic place. And one of the most common comments I see is people describing his content as wholesome, which I couldn't agree with more. Speaking of the comments, a little sidebar here, The Strugglers has to be one of the nicest and most pleasant communities that I've ever seen. Usually with commentary YouTubers, the comment sections are filled with copy pastas that were funny, I don't know, the first 10 times they were said, and just quotes from the video that serve no purpose other than reiterating the purpose of the joke from the video. In comparison, Scott's comments seem actually more productive, and mostly everyone is being nice to each other, and it's a really cool thing to observe. Alright, now we're going to get a little bit more personal, I guess. There was a point in time this year where there was a lot going on in my life, and I talked about it in a update video in May that I put out called 2021 Sucks. So if you really have the urge to know what was going on, you can look for it there. The point is that I was in a very bad place, and I felt completely uninspired to create. I had felt like I was someone who completely missed their wave, and there was no way for me to hop back on it. So I did what every person in Gen Z does when they fall into an intense depressive episode. I watched my comfort creators, and I found out one of those creators was actually Scott. Specifically his video on Disney Channel games, and that is one that I constantly come back to at least once every month or so. And I'm not someone who tries to sound overdramatic, but I'm being genuine when I say this. Rewatching his videos was one of the only light patches in a time where everything was filled with darkness. And along with his videos providing me a lot of enjoyment from about March to June, they also provided me with a sense of hope for myself. I know we talk about different things, but the randomness of how we choose our topics seem to be very similar. It's the feeling of just talking about whatever you want, and it's something that I thought couldn't be a sustainable way to get yourself on the good side of the algorithm until I really started to pay attention how Scott did things. There's no real pattern in his uploads, and it's very clear that whatever strikes him at the moment is what he's going to make a video on. And the fact that he was able to get almost 600,000 subscribers through doing that is what almost single-handedly got me to get off of my butt and start creating again. Instead of trying to play the algorithm by only making videos about YouTubers, because I've had multiple examples of proven success on my channel that it works, I decided to make videos on what I'm passionate about at the moment. And guess what? My stats haven't been as good as I had hoped them to be, or even compared to my stats of the videos I was releasing in February to April. But that's not the point. I'm feeling more creatively fulfilled, and I know that instead of having people subscribe to this channel for videos on creators they enjoy, they'll instead start subscribing to me because they enjoy hearing what I have to say about things. I have to rely on the fact that I know I will feel so much better when I build an audience organically, as opposed to pushing me into a direction that will eventually corner me into being a one-trick pony doing the same thing over and over again. And essentially, I have Scott Cramer to thank for that. So if the minuscule chance that you're watching this has come to fruition, I just want to say thank you, Scott, for all of it. I can't wait to see you continue to prosper in the future, and I certainly can't wait to watch even more terrible TED Talk advice. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Any combination of the three will do. I would like to give a thank you to my patrons, Weston Katecki and Carl McGee, and my producer, the BC Film Reviews. If you would like to support this channel, since most videos are demonetized, and get some awesome perks along with it, my Patreon is in the description, as well as my Twitter, where you can reach out and we can connect. Thank you once again so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Goodbye.